All right, so we were talking about how to identify the blocks that are stopping you from being able to show up authentically and naturally, just showing up as yourself. You're not working hard, you're not putting on any pretense, you're not doing any of those things, and you're showing up and you're not attracting those toxic people anymore. You're attracting the right woman that God has for you, that is healthy, empathic, just like you, compatible to you, and all the degrees you've gotten and all the work. She's compatible, so she's going to have some level of modern woman in her. However, she's going to be a traditional woman that can let you lead in a way that she's comfortable. See, I teach women, a little side note, I teach women, by the way, my name is Patrice Evans, and I have a course called Attract the Right Woman Method for young, successful Christian men that are empathic and single, and they are looking to attract the right woman. They're between 25 and 32. So welcome to my channel. All right, so these women that we're looking for, they have this modern side to them. I think I might have some of that, and I think my children do. I mean, this is where we are right now. We can't go back. Can't put the baby back in, right? Once you've had the baby. So we're here now, right? But when I ministered to women for over 13 years, which I have, and I can help you understand the way women think, and I am that Proverbs 31 woman that's also modern in her own way, because I'm a leader, right? Minister, leader, I have a nonprofit, my husband understands that. But when I speak to these women and I coach them, so that you know this, these women, there's no way I'm going to ask them to not be what they are and the degrees they have and everything. That's wonderful. This is what God wants for them. What I am telling them is that don't follow a man that you can't follow being who you are. Don't get with a man that's like that. So what I'm going to tell you in response to that, to help you be that man, is you need to level up. You need to be the man that she can look up to. So you need to have a compatible woman that can comfortably look up to you and know that you are lined with the Lord. If you're a Christian man, you're in line with the Lord. You know how to lead her in that way, spiritually especially. And then in the household, starting spiritually. Do you know what's right? Do you know what's wrong? Do you believe in courtship? If that's something y'all want to talk about, we can talk about that. Do you believe in doing things God's way or not? This is the kind of leadership we're talking about. And so I encourage women, don't even start a relationship with a guy you cannot follow. Been there, done that. There's going to be resentment from both sides. And you're going to have to work so hard to just conjure up this respect when you really don't feel it. And so that's not fair to you or to him. And you have to act like, you have to do it for him and act like he did it. Like, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to do that. And you shouldn't ask a woman to do that. So that's why I only want to work with successful young men. That you're working hard on who you want to be, and you are pleasing to the Lord, and now you want a woman that's compatible with that. That's my thing. That's what I'm here to do, is help you connect in that way. So what we were talking about is, how do you identify what's blocking you from attracting these women, and why are you attracting the wrong women over and over again? Women that may want to cheat on you, or they want to take advantage of you because you are successful in your career as a young man. You're a catch, what we would call. But why do you keep attracting these wrong women? You think, oh gosh, she's pretty, or she's this, she's compatible in those ways, or whatever. Then when you get her, and she turns out that she's not really appreciating you. She's not really the traditional woman I thought she would be, or that I would hope that she would be, and I was hoping to make her be, or whatever the case is. Or I didn't even realize I needed a traditional woman. I thought it didn't matter. Now you're realizing the hard way that yes, it matters. Your compatibility and the fact that she's traditional like you, and that she's a Christian woman like you, and she wants that structure that you want. Now, it's okay if women don't want it. You don't have to be with every woman. And don't force that. There is a woman for you that God has for you. Is she perfect? No. Is she perfectly at the perfect level? Probably not. She just needs to have those ingredients that you have of wanting that. She wants to please the Lord. She wants to have a godly marriage. She wants to have a godly man, and she wants to do what God requires a woman to be. That Proverbs 31 woman. She wants to be that high level, high value woman, which is a Proverbs 31 woman. She wants that. Is she that? But is she willing to put her money where her mouth is what you're looking for. And I can teach you that in my course. I'll teach you how to look for the signs for the ones that are saying it, but they're not walking the walk. They're talking the talk, not walking the walk. Everybody wants to be Christian. Everybody wants to be a Christian. There's so many people, they're not Christian, and they're not interested in being Christian, and they're not interested in following the way or following Jesus or being a part of the kingdom. So I can help you sift through all of that. Okay. There's another set of red flags that we can talk about. They could be mirroring you, pretending that they are something that they're not. So identifying the blocks. How do you get from this cycle of keep on connecting with these women. I mean, attracting the wrong women. And we learned that when you're an empath, you do attract narcissistic women. Are they narcissists? Well, we'd have to really do a study to find that out. But if they have narcissistic traits, that's something you can find out by their behavior over a period of time. And over a period of a short period of time, you can do it. And I can teach you how to do that if you want to work with me. And if you want me to do a video, I can help you with those videos too as best as I can, okay? All right, but these blocks, what are the blocks that's keeping you from attracting toxic women versus attracting the women that God has for you? So that you can have a joyful, lasting marriage. You cannot have a joyful, lasting marriage like I'm having with my husband with someone who's narcissistic. That's just not possible. People cannot have close relationships with people who are narcissistic. Just in case you were wondering, they should not have close relationships. They're not capable of it. And so far, there has not been a cure on narcissism. They do say that if you can catch it before 30, there are coping mechanisms and ways that you can change the way that you handle relationships that are close. And you can do some healing that could really get you out of there if you really believe in it and you really want to. There is more of a chance there. That's just something that you're constantly going to need to work on and be aware of and stay in front of and let people that you love know that you are. All right? But I don't deal with helping people who are narcissistic. I deal with helping you avoid being with people who are narcissistic. That's my expertise, and that's what I've done for myself in my book, Resilient Joy. Hayoka Empath's Victory Over Jealousy and Narcissism in Family, Career, and Church. Hayoka Empath, the highest, rarest, most powerful empath, is what I was born to be. I've said in my other videos, it's something that people might think they want to be, but we have a really tough life to be able to be at the powerful level that we're in, to really live out and be at the level we're supposed to be, what we were born to be, fully powerful. We go through a lot. All empaths go through something because people take advantage, but most importantly, you're attracted, who's attracted to you are people who have narcissistic traits. So we talked about what happened when you were younger to let that happen. Now I want to talk about what's going on there with those adverse childhood experiences. What happens is that you ended up developing an attachment style. I talk more about that in my webinar when I really break down what I do in my course, Attract the Right Woman Method. And I really get into it more and I share my story and I really help you understand that concept better. And then I give you an opportunity to join my course. So I'm going to definitely do that today too. There will be a link to the actual webinar and a link to my Calendly link where you can just call me if you've already watched enough videos, you know that I'm the one that can help you. You just want to know how to get started and maybe some other questions you might have for me. Definitely click on my Calendly link and we can get started with seeing if I'm a good fit for you, what I do. I will hear what you have and I can definitely let you know. I also have something God has let me to do that I can talk about at the end of the video. That's a gift for you. But anyway, when you're younger, there's something called an attachment style. And that's what's happening when you have this adverse childhood experience. And there are different types. And they are in two categories. One is secured attachment style, where you grow up and you do not have any break. So basically, the people around you, if they even have any issues, they never infringed on you. They either had stuff and they never infringed on you. Similar to my children and me, is that I'm extremely aware that I went through what I went through and I had been great taking care of myself. And my goal has always been never make them have to do this. That's my goal, is that I'm regulating and I'm growing with the Lord. And sure, they are witnessing it. And maybe that I can't control because they may have to talk about that in counseling, that they saw their mother go and learn and grow and all that. But the fact that I leaned on them, and I ended up either leaning on them this way, which made them grow lopsided, or I actually hurt them and broke them in some way that made them grow up like this. But my goal is to have them as straight as possible and don't interfere with what God is doing with this plant that I am facilitating my children. And I did an amazing job. The problem with this issue is, if you're a parent, is that I'm not the only influence they have in their lives. They did have their father. And if I'm at work, I can't control if there was something going there. If I did marry someone that was, I found out later, a sociopath, very good at it. He fooled us all. I don't know if there might have been a little from that. I can't be everybody. The lack of family members could have hurt them. I don't know. but I can't be everything. All I can be is that primary caregiver with the attachment style. Is your primary caregiver, and I can have a healthy relationship so that they can grow up secure. And that's what secure looks like. Okay? And secure is that you're able to see people for what they are, see things for what they are, comments for what they are. You don't read into everything. You know, and that seems so extreme, read into everything. I don't mean to make it seem extreme, but you don't take something that someone said or did and assume it's what my father did. He said that to me. He did that to me. And that's what I had to deal with growing up. And my goal was to never hurt the ones around me with just because I was growing up. You know, not to downplay it, but not because I'm healing. I informed them and let them know, don't do these things to me. That's my boundary, because that hurts me. I found out that that's the kind of person I am. I don't like that, you know? So they learn my boundary, I learned theirs, and we learn how to do that, right? As best as we can. My goal is for them to be secured, and they were as secure as I could possibly have them in my prayers and in all that I can. And so I see it in the way that they are, is that they're able to do that. And then sometimes I see in certain areas they're not. So you can be secure in some areas and not secure in other areas too. These are those, that's why human beings are so, we're so full of layers, and we have so much going on there that you can't possibly be, raise a perfect child, and you can't be perfect. It's impossible. Because there could be some hormonal things. There could be some biological things. There could be some environmental things that they grew up. Maybe things happened in school I didn't know about. Maybe something happened with something else. Maybe someone said something I didn't even know, I wasn't there. So that is how it can affect them being secure. If they're insecure, and so you go out and you get all your relationships based on that. And even if you're a secure attachment style, you can be a prey because they love your security. And that could be your first time getting it. That's possible too. And being so secure, you can be naive and you don't know about any pains because you never went through it. If you don't have the support systems to help you point it out. And that's what I do in my course. When you're in my course and you're going through finding people and you've already had some relationships, help you point out. I would help you point out if this means this or this, that, if it means something else, if you're not clear on it. So long as I can do my best with the information you give me based on your perspective. So the other way you can be, if you're not secure, you're what they call anxious avoidant, dismissive avoidant, or you're fearful avoidant. That avoidant is there, meaning you're not able to really connect with people first face value. You're reading into it more, and maybe you're right. You could be right. But what it does to your body when you do it, and how it affects you, how it affects your face, how it affects how you respond, how it affects what you do. You either can push too much and connect to them too fast, which can really be a bad building block for a marriage or for a relationship that builds to a marriage, which is what I protect you from doing to yourself. And later on, you could have been a great match, but you went so fast, you ignored things that could have been beautiful building blocks to a wonderful relationship. And it can be too much for them, and it fizzes out quickly, and they end up, can't take you. You're just too much, right? Or you can be so standoffish because what you're doing that for is because you don't want them to leave you. That is the anxious avoidant. You don't want them to leave. So you're a love addict. You can't get enough of them. That's codependent. That's not healthy. You don't know where you end and they begin, especially in the beginning, way too early. So that's what a lot of us deal with. A lot of us are love addicts because there's dopamine and oxytocin and so much going on in your mind. If you need me to go through that more, it's in my webinar and I could do videos on that, more videos. So the other way is when you won't get close. They're trying so hard to get to know you and you got this wall built because you don't want them to abandon you. So you don't want them to abandon you, so you stay close, you don't want them to go, or you don't want them to leave you, so you never let them in, right? They can show up sometimes like narcissistic because they can say things to make you like not want to be with them because they're scared of you getting too close to them. That is an insecure attachment style based on adverse childhood and experiences. And the last one is extremely exhausting for everyone. It is the fearful avoidance. Sometimes you're too much and other times you don't want to be talked to. And you're mad at them because they're not close enough, but you pulled away and back and forth. It does resemble a disorder that's very serious, which is borderline personality disorder. That's a very serious disorder. That is fearful avoidance, in my opinion, to the 100th power. So you have that going on, but it's an actual disorder. So that's extremely difficult to come out of. But if you are having these insecure attachment styles, they are very correctable. This is what we talk about in my course. I help you correct that. And so these could be the blocks that could be in the way of you attracting the right woman. You can have all the degrees, you can have a good look, you can have everything going for you, great car, all these wonderful things, nice person, you thought you overcame all these other things. But these are things that are so deep rooted that you'd have to go back in there and kind of heal from that, from those wounds, so that you can show up that way. And so you can correct, if you're in any of these insecure attachment styles, you really can correct them and you can become secure. That's our goal. And these are the things I teach you in my course. So if you're interested in learning more about how to work with me, definitely click on my webinar and learn more about how I get in more depth of how you can work that through. I go into more depth with that and how we do it in my course as one of the things I help you with that are very, 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 very transformative in the course. There are other things, but those are one of the main ones. And you can, or if you feel like you've seen enough of my videos, you do see my work, you've either worked with me, seen my work, you know of me, someone's referred you to me, go ahead to my Calendly link and you may think that you're a good fit. But let's find out if you are, and if what I offer does fit your need in attracting the right woman so that you can have a joyful, lasting marriage like I have with my husband. Like we've been able to overcome this and help you with your communication skills, verbal, nonverbal. And I would love to just go ahead and get started, seeing if we could work together as your coach. And if you need some time, go and look at the webinar, okay? And the gift that God gave me is that 25 young men, I've already started the process, so now we're down to about 23 at the time of this, that I'm giving away free coaching sessions to help you, to get you to some place that you're immediately needing. And even after that, if you want to work with me, fine, or you can refer someone to me. Whatever the case is, please go ahead and click the link and we can connect. Okay, I look forward to talking to you more. Stay tuned for what's left of the series. All right, we're going to continue to talk about what things are getting in the way of you attracting the right woman.